I'm making beef stew for dinner. Come along and I'll show you how it's done. Here are the ingredients. You'll need some stew meat, obviously, some potatoes and carrots, and I'll make sure to make a list below so you know what to get. Step number 1 is to coat your meat. So what you want to do is put the flour into a bowl and then get your meat and pour it into the flour and make sure to work it around really well in the flour to coat all the pieces. I like to break up some of the bigger pieces while I'm doing this process as well. Don't forget to add your pepper. I almost forgot, and I actually added a little bit more than what the instructions said, but we like pepper, so I'm not too heartbroken about it. Now it's time to start cooking. First, put your oil in a big pot and start warming that up. And then put your meat into the pot individually so you can brown each piece. This might take a couple of batches. I just love the sound of sizzling meat. Makes me feel like I'm doing something really good. Anyway, after all of your meat is browned on all the sides, then take it out of the pot and put it into a separate bowl. Now it's time to use your wine, and try not to drink it, but you need 1 cup of wine and 2 tablespoons of red wine vinegar, which ruins the wine completely, so you don't want to drink it after you put that in there. I actually like to use a sweeter wine with this recipe. I use a Concord because it's something that I would drink regularly, or maybe I'll have a glass with the stew whenever it's finished. Now you want to pour your wine mixture into your pan where you had cooked your meat, and you'll be scraping all those goodies off of the bottom of the pan. That really enhances the flavor of the stew, and you'll see it turns this really nice dark kind of rich gravy looking kind of a color mixture, and that's when you want to step to the next step. You'll want to grab that meat that you had set aside and put it back into this mixture of wine and goody bits on the bottom, and you'll also want to add your bay leaf at this time. Don't forget your bay leaf. Also, you will be adding 3.5 cups of beef broth. I only had beef stock, but I figured that was pretty close, and I would just use up what I had in my refrigerator. You'll want to bring this to a boil now, and after it comes to a boil, then you'll take it back down to a simmer, and you'll want to cook it for about an hour to an hour and a half until the beef is tender. Next, you add your carrots and a medium onion. Add those to your stew for about 10 minutes and kind of let them cook down and just start to get a little bit soft. While those are cooking down, you'll get your potatoes and chop them into bite-sized pieces and add them to your stew as well. These will cook for about 30 minutes in the stew, but I feel like with stew, the longer it sits and simmers on the stove, the better it's going to be. So at this point, you can add your herbs that you want, like some rosemary would be really good, some more salt, pepper, and maybe some thyme would even be good. Here is the stew after it's been cooking for about an hour. And the potatoes aren't broke down, they're just perfect. And now it is time to eat. Don't forget to take your bay leaves out. You don't want to grab a mouthful of that, but the stew is delicious. We made some rolls to go along with it, and we all ate very well for a couple days off of this. Thanks for watching. Enjoy your dinner.